My name is Maggie.mov, but I am known as Grand Maggie. I am Hishkut. I was born and raised in Hishkut Harbour. My parents woke us up at 6 a.m. every morning to share our life's teachings with us during breakfast. We lived off the land and ocean, and all our meals came from the land and sea. We had no superstores. Our only neighbors we had had the Mamatlis at Estefan Point. They were the weather station and lighthouse keepers. They would invite us for Christmas and New Year celebration. They also came to visit us in the harbour occasionally. We sometimes used to place orders with their tender boat for our potatoes, rice, flour, coffee, and tea. My father, George Hippel-Dickness, had a small boat called Florence I that he would take us out to Tofino about once a month. We didn't leave the harbour too often. Our family relatives came home to visit summertime, as the children preferred to be home in Hishkut Harbour rather than Hot Springs Cove, so it was always considered a treat when we did go out, because we got to see other people, especially children our age. My mother, Matilda Sabas, used to weave baskets out of grass and cedars that she used to sell to the tourists. She gave birth to eight right there in the harbour. Hospitals were not an option. Two of the elders, late Carrie McKend, late Julianne Lucas, were the midwives in the harbour. We never had infections growing up or sickness. If we did get hurt, my mom would use these heart-shaped leaves that come out in the springtime. Other than that was until buckles came along. There are 4 of us left today of my parents' children, along with many, many Kwa'ots. My Kwa'ots grandchildren sing and dance. They eat what I eat, which is a lot of seafood. They know how to go out for their own fish and preserve it. Too many children, even adults today, have no idea how to do this. It is my wish for my younger grandchildren to also know how to gather and preserve our traditional foods. My sister Jeannie and I get them together to pass along these teachings. Many young people don't like our traditional foods anymore. Too many of them live in town, don't come home enough. At my home in Hishkut Harbour, there are only 2 houses, one being mine, the other my brother David Ignace, better known as Mushkai. My home only has bare necessities, such as my wood stove for the heat, gas stove for cooking, and my little radio. I enjoy the peace and quiet of my home. I unwillingly had to leave my home in Hishkut Harbour and move to the city as a doctor was concerned about my health and me being alone. I go home quite often. I prefer to be at home rather than Port Alberni. I enjoy going out fishing with my brother, walking the beaches. We go out for our foods at low tide, cook our foods outside, just as my parents and grandparents had done for many years. I am always happy to have family and friends to come home to Hishkut Harbour with me. My wish for the next generation is for them to keep up our family gatherings and just being together and doing everything together.